Well, hello there. It's great to see you again. Welcome back to the Ezra File. The Ezra File on YouTube and also, of course, on Facebook. And if you remember a few Ezra Files ago, we looked at the subject of Kanye West, the American rap and hip hop artist. We did a video on his latest album, which is called Jesus is King. And it would seem as though Kanye West has come to faith. He's come to faith as a Christian believer. Now, if you have missed that video, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to the Ezra File on Facebook. And if you scroll down the videos, you'll find the gospel according to Kanye West. So that will familiarize yourself with Kanye West's spiritual journey, which he seems to have gone on. Well, Kanye West, in addition to his spiritual journey, has also been on another journey. He's been on a journey over the subject of abortion. And he's recently come out with a few tweets and a few sayings on that issue. And so what I'd like us to do at this Ezra File is just to take a look at what Kanye West has been saying. And I've got some, here you go, there's the first quote that I'd like us to look at. And Kanye West ties his spiritual journey very firmly to his journey over the subject of abortion, where he says, I am pro-life because I'm following the word of the Bible. So he's come out very strongly in a pro-life direction in America. And the subject of abortion appears to have affected his life very profoundly, because he went on to talk about his own life, his own birth. And as you can see there, there's a quote, "My mum saved my life. My dad wanted to abort me," he told the crowd at the Charleston wedding venue and convention center. "There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy." So the whole issue of abortion cuts across his own life story. And not only did he cut across it at his own birth, it also cut across it when he was to become a father for the first time. He also said these are remarkable words. "I cried at the thought of aborting my firstborn, and everyone was so concerned about me. I'm concerned for the world that you shouldn't cry about this subject." Abortion for Kanye West is a deeply personal issue. He and his wife, he and Kim Kardashian, considered aborting their first child. Thankfully, they didn't go through with that, and he's subsequently gone on to have other children with Kim Kardashian as well. And not only is abortion important for Kanye West on a personal level, he's also entered the whole issue of the political significance of abortion. He's recently tweeted this: "Over 22.5 million black babies have been aborted over the past 50 years. Now, if he's referring to America in that tweet, then his maths are a little bit out. His stats are a little bit wrong. It probably isn't 22.5 million. It's probably less than that. But nevertheless, in that tweet, he has put his finger on something that's actually quite important. If you look in America, abortion has been disproportionately visited upon black women. More black women per head of the population have an abortion than white women. And if you look at the distribution of abortion clinics in America, you'll find that they are disproportionately distributed in black neighborhoods. And Kanye West has come out and drawn attention to this as a profoundly moral issue. And especially in this day and age of Black Lives Matter, Kanye West is making the point that actually all Black Lives matter at all stages of life. So that's Kanye West on the subject of abortion, and he hasn't minced his words. And it's actually I think it's actually deeply significant that he has come out on this issue. As I said in the previous videos, we've looked at abortion before. Again, if you haven't gone to the Ezra File Facebook page, you'll need to go there. Scroll all the way down, you'll find a video called A Sad Anniversary. You'll also find a video that I did on a guy called Francis Schaeffer, and they cover the issues of abortion as well. But abortion in America, of course, is a deeply divisive political issue. And that stretches all the way back to 1973, when the US Supreme Court tried to rule on the subject. And the US Supreme Court, in the famous or perhaps infamous Roe v. Wade judgment, claimed to find, buried deep within the United States Constitution, a right to abortion. But of course, that issue has not been settled. It's as alive an issue today, well, even more a live issue today than it was back in 1973. But there's a saying which goes like this. There's a saying that politics is downstream from culture. Politics is downstream from culture. And culture, I think, plays a massive role in the whole issue of abortion. I think it plays a huge issue in the significance of Kanye West. If I look at my lifetime as a Christian, what has shaped society? What has been the most powerful force that has shaped society? Well, I would say the most powerful force, the most powerful cultural force that has shaped society in my lifetime has to be the post-1960s sexual revolution. That has completely changed the face of society. The sexual revolution of the 1960s stands on two pillars. The first pillar that it stands on is the mass availability of cheap and effective contraception. The second pillar that it stands on, I would say, is the availability of abortion. Abortion in America, and I think probably as well, you can say, has virtually become abortion on demand. Those are the two pillars upon which the sexual revolution rests, this powerful cultural force. Now, speaking of cultural forces, whatever you might think of Kanye West musically, and I'm not a great rap hip-hop fan, I must say, but Kanye West is a cultural force of stratospheric importance. He is a man who has sold over 100 million albums in 20 years. Here is a man who has touched the lives of millions, over 100 million people with his music. In terms of a cultural force, they don't come much bigger than Kanye West. And in his spiritual journey and in his journey over the whole pro-life issue, it must be reckoned that this is a huge cultural moment. If somebody like Kanye West comes out as strongly against abortion in the way that he has, then that has to take some effort. That has to take some accounting. What would happen if culture if politics is downstream of culture? If Kanye West's journey represents a massive cultural change, could that cultural change not produce political change? Political change in the whole area of abortion law in America, and probably by and by in Britain as well. What would that mean if one of the pillars of the sexual revolution came tumbling down? What would that mean if the most powerful cultural force of my lifetime suddenly became undermined in that way? Would it not perhaps mean that people are beginning to reassess their life? Would it not mean perhaps that people are beginning to reverence life as a gift from God? And might it not mean that people were ready once again to begin to turn to God, the author of life? Well, the answer to those questions is, who knows? Time will tell. But my prayer in this whole area is that where Kanye West has led, may others follow. Be seeing you.